everybody, how are you? Welcome back. My name is Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small business called The Flower Patch. And at The Flower Patch I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Right guys, thank you so much for your wonderful messages as always. I'm extremely touched. I find it very heartwarming of you. Keep them coming because I just love to chat, or to chat should I say. Right, today I had a lady last night contact me probably about 7:30, saying that she watches my videos and she'd like me to do a small wreath with yellow tulips that she can hang in her kitchen or door, depending on what the weather's like. If it's beautiful outside, then she will place it outside. If not, she'd like to bring it in and place it in her kitchen. She did say that she doesn't want it, like a 16-inch wreath, probably a 10 or 12-inch wreath, she said. So I got out a 12-inch wreath and we're going to do it on that. I haven't done anything with it as of yet. I haven't even done a bow. So we're going to do a bow as well, guys. But the only ribbon I've got, because I want it very slim. I don't want a big overpowering bow, especially if it's going to go inside. So I've got out this lovely I think 1 inch, 1 inch ribbon and burlap, just really nice. I can't remember where I got this from, guys. I have had it a while. I did go through a stage where I was using the 2.5 inch, but I think for this one it would be lovely to use a thin, delicate one, which will help make the or add to the arrangement and make it look elegant. I've also got out another 1 inch one, and this is a 20-meter roll. It's more like, I'd say similar to a organza, but it's got little white daisies on. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see in the background, little white daisies on as well. So I'm just going to use those 2 ribbons. I don't want to use any more. Again, I don't want to overpower it with big bows. So that's what we're going to use for our bow. Right, for our foliage, the lady said she didn't want a lot of foliage, just to keep it slightly minimal but beautiful. Now everybody has their own idea of minimal and beautiful. So even I do, guys, so I'm a culprit to that as well. So I've got out some laurel. It's got a hint of red in it, but not much, and I'm gonna add in some of that as well. Now this I think I got from Ruffles Creations. It doesn't say on the tag, it's just got the barcode, that's all it is. So I'm going to use some of that. Now I've cut some of this down. A lady did send me a message stating that she thinks this looks like, oh, Fortunia, I think the lady said, foliage. I had a look on my invoice about this, and it's come up with longleaf boxwood. So I've chopped a few down from the stems. So I've used 2 stems for this. you only get 3 on each stem. So I think it's 3, I'm sure it's 3. So I'm going to use the boxwood as well. Now I did spot this in one of my buckets with it having yellow in. It's like the umbrella leaf. So I'm going to use that. It does remind me of euphorbia. I think it's euphorbia. I'm forgetting things today. But we may, I'm not saying for definite, but we may add these last few bits that I've got left in. Now, she wanted a bit, she did say she'd like a little bit of white, not too much. So I thought I'm going to combine it and have foliage with white little daisies. So I've got my flowering eucalyptus. I think I've got a couple of oddments in here, but then I've took out 3 stems. Oh, I'm not going to use all of these guys, but aren't they pretty? So I thought for the movement, or if we have a little breeze, they will move in the wind. I've also got out, again, I've got this, you saw me the other day for the lady for the candlestick, our astilbe in yellow, with some in a little bit of white as well. So you get 5 on a stem, and I think, let me think, I know I got these off of Temu. Now these I may have got off Temu as well. Don't quote me on that, but if you want to have a look, guys, please, go ahead and have a look. And I've gotten out some of our yellow tulips, what we used in the Easter one from the same place. I got these from Temu as well. Now these last 2 I've had, oh gosh, it's got to be about 2 years, guys. So I'm not sure where I got these from, but I have got some little crocuses. I got these out as backup if I want to, because they look slightly a bit like buds from the tulips. I thought we could add a few little ones of these in. Some people may think they are buds, and they are very similar, foliage on these as well. Now these guys I have had, I went through a stage where I must have bought about, I don't know. I can't count. I have had these, it's got to be about 2.5 years. I think these and this colour are the only ones I have left in a very pale yellow. Wild poppy. I've got a peach one in there for some reason, but wild poppy. Now again, you'll get these anywhere on your, if you have a look on floral sites, Amazon, wholesalers, if you shop at a wholesalers, or just type in Google wild poppies and they should all come up, and the company names as well. But I have had these about 2.5 years, and these are just what are left. I've got a few left in other colours as well. So that is what we're going to do today. I'm going to bring the camera down. I'm going to do the bow slightly a little bit later, because I don't want to have the bow sitting deep into the wreath, and I'm only going to do a wreath where it is coming up from the bottom on either side. I'm not going to fill this top part in, so we're going to do it slightly different. So let me just alter the camera, guys. I wanted to get you so you could have a full, look. I'm just moving the bucket. Get in so you can see what I'm doing. I hope that's okay. I know you won't see me, guys, but I'd rather you see what we was doing. So I want to leave at least a hand's width apart, just to place our bow in here, and then everything going up. I will place a bit of floral and foliage around here, and maybe the odd one under the bow there as well, and coming down here also, but I don't want to cover it. So we're going to place in our laurel. You can get different shades of this. There's a lovely lime green one. Oh, I've only got two oddments. So let's just cut it at an angle. I'm cutting at a 45-degree angle. And again, if you want, just hold your wreath there while you're placing your first foliage in. You will be taking the stem underneath, but your bow will cover that. So what I want to do on either side, and bring it halfway to about 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I'm going to go one out, one in. One out, one in. That sort of arrangement. So place my hand there. You look for the best place for your wreath. So one in, and I'm placing it. Oops, I've just pulled a leaf off. That's a good stuff. So let's, oh my good gracious me, it's stuck to my fingers now. Let's just, so if you'd like, you can just bring a few of the leaves in, or the stem, just slightly bend it in as well, and turn as well the leaves the correct way up. Let me just take that little, and do it again on the opposite side. I'm going in this around the central point, and then I'm just bending the stem like so. So I'm just cutting, if you can see where that top of these highest leaves are, I'm cutting there. So then you don't see where I've cut. Let's take the tags off. I don't want the stems that long. Again, twist the your leaves around. You don't have to. Sometimes I leave them as they are for that that natural effect. Now with this one, I will bring on the outer side. So I'm doing a zigzag effect. So this will go more towards the outer side, like so. I'm going to use the bigger one on the top here as well. Let's take the tag off of that one. I hope everybody, especially in the UK or wherever you may be, we've got snow and it's really cold. I hope you're keeping warm. So we've got it like that at the moment. Now these haven't got as many leaves on as the ones I've just placed in. So I do want to place one here and also one there. So I'm going to cut the stems slightly shorter. I don't want them sticking out at the bottom or more towards the centre. If you haven't got laurel, you could use anything like salal, willow, let's think. You could even use, you know, ficus. And I'm bending it inwards. So it sticks up. I've gone to the right with that one, so I'm going to place the stem to the left with this one, so it doesn't become too thick. I've lifted that one slightly. So that is our laurel. If you wish, you could even use elephant ears as well, or aspidistra, something what's got a solid leaf. Now I'm going to do the same with these in between where I placed the laurel, and again I'm going to bring one down here so it blends in with the laurel at the bottom. I don't want to leave that gap there by itself. Hi, hun. So we're going to put this one in around the side, or the more to the bottom. Thanks. And just slightly bend it. Let's get the glue strings off of my hands. And I'm going to do the same on this side as well. Bring one up slightly higher. And I'm going to go in between the laurel here as well, so I can blend it all in. Just cut it at an angle. Some of the stems are really quite tough. I keep looking for an artificial guillotine to cut artificial stems that are quite thick. It keeps coming up with the ones for fresh flowers. Just bring a few of the leaves there, mix them in. Oops, let's just cut that one. Now I could bring, let's have a look. Let me just turn it around, everybody. Make sure there's nothing. Right, I've got a little one here what's just popping out. So I'm going to cut that quite deep. You can either pull it out and replace it. I can see one just starting to pop out, so I'll take that off before it does. So let's see, we've got laurel here. I may bring these two smaller pieces of laurel down here. And I've chopped on this one when I was taking it off the bush, or the stem. As you can see, there's the centerpiece there left on. Now I like to get as close as possible by bending the stems over and cutting really close so it doesn't look like I've chopped at it. So I could bring those there. And you can manipulate these as well. You don't have to just have them, you know, facing one way. And there's a gap there. We'll bring the laurel slightly up as well. Let's entwine that with it. Bring one underneath. So we have the main greenery in, and again the bow's going to sit here, and when I do the bow, it looks lovely against the dark green, so I can't wait for that. Now let's see about these. I could mix those up, but I'll hang on to those because I want to get the tulips in. I've been playing around with a few as well. Let's just take some of these. I've took some leaves off some of them. I want to have a few. Let's see. I'm gonna go. And if you want to place things in, and then bring, like you've got one out. I can just pop it through somewhere. Bring one in. Or if you'd like to have a cluster of them together. I did want to quite... Let's start. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring what I do on one side, I will do on the opposite side. Oops. I'm going to bring a cluster of them. Let's push ones a bit slightly shorter so they don't look like they're all the same size. I'm going to go small, and I'm going to bring that one here. I'm going to put a thicker pick on that one, it's very thin. So I'm going to do it like in a bunch of 3. Oops, I've done the same here. Let's just take that one off. They're very thin. We may as well place something a bit more secure on it. You don't want it popping off. So I've got those 3 there as a little cluster. Now I've left the grasses on these, a little bit of foliage that it comes with. And they are push-ups as well. Just get 4 for now. So I'm going to bring some slightly now going up. So I'm going to go behind the laurel. And I'm going to bring them up here. Again, don't worry about the gap. I do have, let's see, I've cut a few down, so I have the smaller ones as well, well, the crocuses, that I can sit those in between, or the astilbe. wonder what the astilbe looks like there. Yeah. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend, you know, even if it was in the UK snowing. Bring that one out further than that one as well, like we did with these. And I'm going to sit that one. Again, I'm going to bring the grass down on here because I don't want it sticking like that. So I'm going to leave it slightly halfway down so it doesn't stick out too far. And this one's also going to have sit in between those. And we'll do the same on this side. And a little cluster there. I've got one left on this. I can either bring it there, and I think I'm gonna take it to the bottom. Again, bring the grass down slightly. So we've just got that there. I hope you can see, because I know I tend to be slightly naughty with the camera. Oh, let me just get my drink that my husband's brought me in. Oh, we're doing yellow today, and he's brought me in a yellow cup with the yellow daisies. I'll place that there. Right, I've got the poppies. Now that one's peach, so we don't need that one. And I want to use these as a bit of movement. I don't want them sticking like too far out. Let's get some. I don't like that one. For some reason it's wrapping around or everything. I think it may need to. Right. If you get any flowers that look slightly loose but they're not loose, so to speak, get your glue gun and just place, I don't know if you can see, place it behind one of the petals and then just stick it onto the petal underneath, just to keep it from opening up, look, especially if you don't want it opened up. There we go. I want to just take off as well. I want to have a look at the astilbe. I may put these in before I place in the poppies. Let's just move those out of the way. Now again, these are push-ups as well. So I'm going to bring two either side of this poppy. I can push that one up. That's it. Now I'm going to place some in between here. I'll just place it there, and then I've got one left, and because I've got those two here, I will bring this one upwards like that, so you can see it like so. I hope that's in view, guys. So let's get those in. I'm going to cut this stem slightly shorter, because I don't want it going too far up. And just spread them. Do the same here. There's one there. And again, just bring some of your foliage in, so it looks like it's all growing within each other. And do the same with this. Bring that in between there. And also this one. doesn't that look pretty? No, I don't know about these. I may have one either side, or I may bring some around the edge, so we'll hang on. I'm going to place a few of those in. Right, let's now start and get our bow in. Now you can, you know, have your tail ends as long as you want. You don't have to have them too long. I sort of like want to bring the tail end at the top around here. I want to spread the tail ends at the top and at the bottom also. Bring them over. So I want the tail end at the top to be around 12 inch. So let's just move our wreath. Oh gosh, look at the mess, guys. So the tail end at the top around 12 inch. And I'm not going to dovetail these. I'm just going to cut them at an angle. Like so. You don't now, because this is the same on either side, and you can't really tell much difference with the stitching on the edging. You don't have to twist. You can leave it as is. I'm going to do, let's just get that there, but I tend to like to twist just to keep it in place. I'm going to do a 6-inch loop on either side. So just go to your number 6 on your, if you're using a bow maker on your board. I think I'm going to do 4. And just now measure it with the one underneath. And then twist. Let's just measure 12 inch. I'll go a little bit further in case it's not quite 12 inch. So that's that one, and we'll do our other one with, now this may fray, so you can either get a cigarette lighter on it or just turn the edges up. Cut that the wrong side. So you just want to now I'm going to go, now you do have to twist this one because the pattern is on the opposite side. I'm going to go 5 inches with this one. So then twist towards yourself, go up to number 5 on the end here. Then twist again. I'm going to number 5 again. And then one more loop. And I'm going to measure it alongside approximately around there. Now I'm just going to get, now you can get another piece if you want 3 tail ends. So you can get another piece and go straight down in the center, or get another piece if you want it. Just similar length. Do about a 4-inch loop and then bring it down here. So then you've got 3. Now if you'll notice that this is on the same side as this one, but once I place in my cable tie, I will manipulate this one to sit, because with it being wired it will do it, sit this side. So then I have got plain pattern, plain, and the top part doesn't need to be done because I've already positioned that at the top. So we will get our cable tie. I just slide it under. Some people are different. They go put it on before, or they just go through the center piece here. Now I'm not pulling it to its max because I've got to get a floral wire through, or a cable tie, or even a Chanel stick or pipe cleaner, which I will push it through the center of the pipe cleaner. Just slightly measure so it's the same length. So now before you go anywhere, you know, and do anything else, you can now manipulate your loops to sit where you'd like them to sit. So I'm not going to have them where they are spreading all around. I want them to stay relatively horizontal. So I've got 4 here, so I will just bring that one down here, and then that one just slightly around it. Again, I don't want it too far apart, and I will do the same here. And what you've started with at the top here, you start with the opposite bow at the top, or at the top here. So I've started with that one, because if you did have them close next to each other, they'd be like that. If you did the opposite, if you did the same, you would have 2 like that, and that wouldn't look balanced. So you start with the opposite. So I just do that, and at the end I can get my fingers in. And this piece here that was on the opposite side, I have just the piece of tail end, I've manipulated it and pulled it over the opposite side and brought this one in the center, and then I will pull on the back to the tightest that it will go, get my floral wire, twist my bow a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, snip the excess of the the crikey, what do we call it? Cable tie. That's right, cable tie. Oh my good gracious me. And then just, now it's tight, you can just be a little bit more forceful with it. And that's how I want my bow to sit. I don't want it all the way around. It's again relatively horizontal, just the odd one hanging down here. Then look at your tail ends. I want to chop that one a little bit of a, I like to see my tail ends with a bit deep point. And just cut them to how you want, whether you're dovetailing or if you're just doing a slight little bit of an angle, or if you're turning them over. So let's get rid, I don't need now these, unless you want to hold them onto them and place in another little bit of a bow at the top for your hook, which I may use one of them. So just, I use pins to hold them in so they don't go everywhere when they're on my shelf. Place that one goes in the middle. Right, where's our flowers? So I basically want to sit, if I just show you, on top like that. I don't want it where it's sunk. When I mean sunk, I mean down at the bottom. You can, you know, if that's what you like. So I'm going to now thread this through to the back of my wreath, and I've got some weaving needles. You get them from Amazon, eBay, anywhere that you know, just type it in Google and they'll all come up. They're only plastic, all different colours. And I will get one piece out of the two of my floral wire, place it through, just do a U-bend on the floral wire. Make sure that your wreath is the correct way up, your bow. And this makes it easier to thread than struggling with your wire, as you can see, through the back. Pull it through, open up the U-bend of the wire that you created. That's one. Let me see where the other one is. Here's the other one. Do the same with that. Do a U-bend on through the weaving needle, and don't place them in the same place, then, because otherwise they'll have nothing to grab. And if you're struggling to pull them through, use your snips. Now I don't want it sinking. So I'm going to just lightly lift it, like so. Turn it over, twist, I tend to twist again, as I state, about an inch. I then get my snips, cut the rest off, and then get the wire and push it back into the wreath. Now I can see a couple of stems there. Oh, that was lucky. I've gone in, just grabbed one of those. I'm going to place that going through there, and it's going to cover it. I don't like to see anything popping through. I have chopped them, but I can still see them. Get your glue gun as well. Place a little bit of glue on the back, around the centre. I haven't got my glue gun on, guys, I always forget. And just hold it down. And that's covering, see, I see another one. This wreath is very loose. I've tried to tighten it up, so I've just placed that there. Right, now I've sit that in the area I'd like it. Again, I don't want it any loops coming up here. So there we have our bow. And that is our bow, guys. Doesn't it add a little bit of extra touch? Well, let me just grab. Now, let's pull one of the oddments that I've got. I want to bring some of these around the side. I think that may be the only oddment. Oh, I've got one here. Oh my good gracious me. Let's just cut some of these off the stems. Let's pull them out. Let's see what we'll do with this. Cut that a bit too long. Too. I pulled a leaf off, guys, and I can't find it. We'll hold back a bit. Right, I've cut these quite long because I may want to chop them in half around this size instead of having them like that. And I want him to place, let's see if we've got a smaller one. I doubt it. No. And place them around the outer side. Sorry if you can't see. I'm terrible at when I do it flat on here. And then one under there, coming down. Let's cut this one in half. So I want these on the outer side. So that needs to go down here. These ones, no, it's sticking out too much. Let me just stand above. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to place in the poppies, guys. Or do I? Place in one. Or in fact, do I just place in the crocuses? What's got a very similar shape to the poppies? Yeah, I'm going to do that instead. I don't know where that one's gone. Let's place those there. Let me just sort this one. 1, 2. There's bookends. Do I place? Yeah, 3. I don't want no more of those. I'm going to stand, guys, because I can see better. Right, so as you see where all these flowering eucalyptus are, I'm going to place all those in. So they're around our edge. I don't want any on top. I want to see just the yellow, if I'm being quite honest. I don't mind the white, a bit of astilbe, but the rest of it, I think I've got this one left. I'll either bring that around the back, so you've got a little bit here. I may do that with that one. But let's first of all, I'm going to, because there's only 3 of these, I've took 3 because I've got the umbrella. I should, gosh, it looks like euphorbia. I'm going to place these on the ends because that is like a bookend and that's where I'd like it to sit. On each of these ends. And then one down here. And then we'll put our 3rd one at the bottom. We'll just place that one under the tulip there. And then I'm going to get this one and I'm going to place that under there as well, while we have the wreath in this position. And then we'll bring, should I place that one in? No. Then we'll get one just in here. So either side of the, as they call it, the umbrella shrub or plant. I'm going to look that up and see. I've got a book on flowers, guys, all different flowers, and they go by the colour, so all the white flowers will be all together. That's that one. Let's move up with this one. If you haven't got any flowering eucalyptus, you can always just use wild daisies, guys. You haven't got to search for the eucalyptus. Oh gosh, that's long. Or if you've got some little baby carnations instead, you could use those. Or anything, you know, that's smaller and has got that wispy look. Use things like baby gerbers or morning glory. I like morning glory. You could use that too. I'm going to place something there, and I think I may place just a bit of that, a bit of the crocus. And if you haven't, you know, you've run out of yellow ribbon, you could use white ribbon. That would set it off. I think I'm going to snip that one. A bit too long. So that's those in there. Right, that one's gone, not sat right. I can see it about ready to pop through. Let's take the glue off. Cut the stem shorter if you think it's going to pop through. That's better. Now I've got the one with two. I'm going to place up here in the centre. So I'm going to lift it up. Just incorporate that into the middle as well. Right, with our crocuses, I will straighten all the ribbon and everything up, guys. I want to just position, oh my gosh, I thought I'd, I think I snipped about 7 before I started. 5 or 7, no 7 I think. 4, 5, 6. Oh gosh, no, that's on the 7. Yeah. So now, because I want a bit of yellow down here with the white, because I feel that it's just missing a little bit, so a bit of wispy colour. I'm going to maybe incorporate, I'm just going to have a look what they look like. And some with the foliage as well. And just do this and just, you know, a similar, you know, gap, spacing apart from each other. I'm just going to I'm just lifting the wreath up. I'm not placing them in or anything. I'm just lifting the wreath and placing them underneath the wreath. I did. Now, let's cut one off. I'm just going to place, if I can just push it down. I don't want it to look too, no, that looks too much. So if I let's get another one. Oh, I can't get it. Excuse me. I'm going to do it like that, and that's all I'm going to do on it. I'm not going to place any more florals in it. I don't want, the lady did said without it being too overwhelming. So where you see where we've got the crocuses, that is where we're going to place them. I'm going to need a little bit longer stem on them so you can see them. So I don't want to see them too much. but just long enough that they're popping out and giving you that burst of colour. Making it a sunshiny day. I'm trying to keep within our boundary or our perimeter or the form and shape of our wreath. Excuse my head, guys. Oops, daisy. Misjudged it. Let me just turn a little bit. There we go. While I've got it here, I'm going to place these in the centre. So they're in the centre, and then just two more. I think I'm missing one, if I'm being quite honest, because that one finishes and we haven't got one here. We have now. Right. So then just fluff up with your bow. Just give it a lovely little stroke so it curls over your florals. Again, if you wanted to add ringlets, you could add ringlets. I don't want to. I want it to, you know, just sit and hang over the florals. Give it that lovely little look of, look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty? That's really, really pretty. A lovely spring arrangement. Now, concerning your hook, you could either place in a hook from a piece of wire that's covered in paper, a pipe cleaner, a floral wire, a piece of twine or rope, or you could use ribbon. Now, out of the two ribbons, this one is the strongest. I'm not saying, you know, don't have that, but that is the strongest ribbon. So I'm just going to cut, and I'm not saying that this is the exact measurement. You can cut it as long as you want. I'm just cutting it about 23 inches. Now you can either go through your grapevine or you can go under and through and over, or you could go through like you would if you had got floral wire. You could glue, have this the longest piece at the front, fold over the edge so it doesn't fray, like that. Glue that on to this piece, and then get the other piece at the other end, fold that little bit over, just about an inch, and then glue that on to the back, and you have a hook. And then if you wish, you could place on a bow at the top, a bow there where it's dangling down. So I don't want the bow that long, so I would, because I like to see it nice and neat when you're using ribbon. And if you think that you've used a little bit too much, shall I go under or over? I think under, around, you know, in and through. That's what I mean. Or you can easily, you know, tie, look for where you'd want your hook, say like here, tie and pinch it together, tie a knot in it, because then if you don't pinch it here, then you can, you know, move it around on your door or however it moves. You know, you want to position it, you could have it positioned the opposite way and take it off. So I think I'm going to do it different today. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to bend that over. Yet I haven't got the glue gun on, guys. Just get a little bit and dab it on. Just be careful not to press too hard, because you will be able to see it on this sort of a ribbon pop through the opposite side. And I think I'm going to have it about there. So then I'm going to just bend that over. You can see the crease. Again, I'm just smearing it on. Like I've got it on the coat. Just bend over. As you can see, it's coming out through the ribbon. So just be careful that you don't put too much on. And then you need to glue those two together. So then get another little piece of glue and do it on top of here. There's that many different ways to do it, guys. I'm not saying that the way I do it is the right way. You know, everybody has their own way of actually attaching a hook. And turn that underneath. And if you want to glue that little bit onto the grapevine, you can glue that. And you could place a bow there if you wanted, or a little ribbon, or just go around it like that and glue at the back. There's many different ways. And that is that. And because we've used the other ribbon, I had to look for it then. Let me just get my easel. We could do a bow from the other ribbon. I will place the camera up. You may see it better with the camera. Oh my good gracious me. Oh my good gracious me. Where did it go? I was just about to ask you guys where it went. Oh my gosh, I mustn't lose that. Da, 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 da. Gosh, I wish I had where I could zoom in. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll find it. I'll find it. I don't want to sit here and just watch me looking. Watch me looking for it. So let's just get the camera. Right, I'm going to place you on the top. Oops, a daisy. So we'll just bring you up. Excuse the noise, guys. If I can